What's up, Dallas Cowboys fans? IndyCar Tim here for the Fish Report YouTube channel, checking in with you here on a Tuesday, a cold and breezy Tuesday as I'm working out here in the garage a little bit. Want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Fish Report YouTube channel, for subscribing, for liking the videos, for sharing the channel. We appreciate it. Fish appreciates it. We all appreciate it very much. Thought we'd talk a little bit today about the Cowboys. I kind of put a jarring video out there yesterday about the Cowboys not being ready to play good teams. I'm kind of follow that up a little bit today with much of the same, but a little bit more for you along those lines. And really, are the Cowboys good enough to beat a playoff team, another playoff team? Are they good enough to win a game in the playoffs against another playoff team? Something they haven't done in quite a while. And we know going into the game against the Cardinals, if you go back to about, an hour before kickoff, maybe 30 minutes before kickoff, I didn't sync up the game clocks or anything, but, the Jets were in line to beat Tampa Bay. And that would have done wonders for the Cowboys' playoff hopes, would have put them in almost a sure second seed going into the playoffs. But then something funny happened at that game. You could either say Tom Brady happened, and of course pulled a Tom Brady just like he did against the Cowboys in week 1. Or you could say the Jets happened and they pulled a Jets, finding a way to lose somehow in the midst of a victory. Either way you look at it, things changed on that landscape for the Cowboys, made the game a little bit more pressing. And then, of course, the Cowboys went out and laid the proverbial sports egg against the Cardinals. And it continues the theme of what the Cowboys have done all season. Really. The response, though, after that loss, we all watched it. And it seems like the Cowboys were more focused on the poor officiating than they were the loss, the reasons for the loss. And there were lots of reasons for the loss. I covered a bunch of those yesterday. But they were focused on the wrong things, I think. And that does not bode well for a team that's trying to stay focused, trying to make corrections, trying to do what they need to do to get over that hump, which brings us to the question, can the Cowboys beat a playoff team in the playoffs? Well, they played 7 games this season against teams that have a winning record. They're 3-4 in those games. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. The last team that they beat that currently has a winning record is the 10-6 Patriots, who fell to 2-4 after their overtime loss to Dallas on October 17th. Of course, that was the play that Dak got hurt on that touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb. The last team the Cowboys beat with a winning record at the time that they played the game, talked about this yesterday, week 4, the Carolina Panthers were 3-0. They looked really good so far in the season after 3 weeks. Sam Darnold was playing well. Little did we know that they would completely collapse. Completely missed the playoffs. I said at the time during that game, and I think it was my post game, that could have been a playoff preview. And let's see how the Cowboys handle it. Well, they handled up the Panthers pretty well, but the Panthers didn't handle the rest of the season very well by any shot. So, of course, they're now 5-11. So the question bears repeating: can the Cowboys win a game like that? Can they win a game in the playoffs? And they'll be at home. We know they'll be at home, at least for the first game. After that, they lost, since then, they've lost the last 3 games that they played against teams with a winning record. You have Kansas City, you have Las Vegas, and then you have the Cardinals. Of course, Kansas City, they're in. The Cardinals are in. Las Vegas, they're out on the fringe. Things have to happen here going into Week 18 for them to get in, but nevertheless, a team with a winning record. The Cowboys entered the game on Sunday against the Cardinals on a 4-game winning streak, but those 4 wins came against teams with a combined record of 18-30. Saints, the Washington football team twice, and the Giants. So the only way now the Cowboys can move up to that from the number 4 seed is to beat the Eagles, which I have questions about. Eagles have a winning record now. And then have the Buccaneers lose to the Panthers. Doubt that's going to happen. And the Rams lose to the San Francisco 49ers. That could happen. Or the Cardinals lose to Seattle Seahawks. That could happen, but it's unlikely. If all that happens, the Cowboys will have a 3-way tie, and they would win the 3-way tie between the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Bucs because of their conference record. It's very convoluted. But all of this could have been avoided. Could have been much easier if the Cowboys would have just gone out and gotten a win on Sunday. But we all saw the game. We know what happened. The offense was terrible, converting 3 of 11 third downs, averaging 2.6 yards per carry. A lot of that was hurt by holding calls. Another week that Dak Prescott was way too inaccurate. He looked way too lost. He looked confused, timid, trepid, whatever you want to say. Dak Prescott had another off week, and we say it every week. As Dak Prescott goes, so goes the offense. So we saw that the third period, Dak got a little more interested maybe in the game or whatever happened. He got a little more involved. He made that big, long run, then hit a couple of passes. He looked like he was getting in a rhythm. He looked good. But, of course, they couldn't pull it out at the end. The special teams did not help. 43-yard field goal attempt by Zuerlein. By the way, excuse me, what the hell's up with Greg Zuerlein? Does anybody feel good about Greg Zuerlein going into the playoffs? If we need him to make a couple of long field goals to win a playoff game, I don't think I feel very good about that. And then, of course, the fake punt that resulted in the pass interference that extended that drive for the Cardinals. And then, of course, the big timeout gate, whatever you want to call it. Cowboys near the end of the game were down by 3 and had a chance. That was clearly a fumble by the Cardinals player on the sideline. It was clearly recovered by Dallas. And had they had it, it was just over 2 minutes. Of course, anything under 2 minutes gets automatically reviewed. What was like 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that, and Cowboys didn't have a timeout to challenge it. I maintain they should not even have had to have the timeout because crap like that is supposed to get automatically reviewed and automatically overturned. Did not happen. So whatever everybody wants to write in the media about these conspiracy theories against the Cowboys, I believe it. It's there. We all see it week in and week out. And I'm not saying it's only the Cowboys and it's the Cowboys every game, but clearly the NFL has an agenda in their games, and we see it in a week in and week out basis because there's no way NFL officials are just flat out that bad. It doesn't happen. So anyway, lots of reasons going into this game against the Eagles that we're interested to see how the Cowboys play. In 2 weeks, it's most likely the Cardinals are going to be back at AT&T Stadium to play the Cowboys again. So I'll ask you the question, can the Cowboys beat a playoff team in the playoffs? We're about to find out, but I don't feel very good about it, boys and girls. I hope you do. Let me know. I'm at IndyCarTim on Twitter. Leave your comment here in the YouTube comment section. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Reach out to me on Twitter, again, at IndyCarTim. I'd love to talk to you about the game, about the season, about the upcoming playoffs. And we'll see you back here on the Fish Report YouTube channel probably tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you.